Hello, my name is Colin White. If you don't know me, I am the treasurer of the Friends of Stogumber Station, and I'm also a volunteer at Stogumber Station. History, really, to keep it quite short, is I taught mathematics for quite a few years. Then when I retired, my wife and I came to live in Somerset, and we saw that the station needed volunteers, so we put our names forward. And there's many reasons why we did so. One was we wanted to do something in the village, and there are some things in the village that we have got ourselves involved in, and this is one of them. The other reason is I am just old enough to remember the steam trains when they were running on British Rail, and I remember them with a great deal of fondness. I find them still very, very exciting to watch, very interesting, and very nice to ride behind. I do like diesels. I quite enjoy actually when we have a mixed traffic day. I find that very enjoyable. I also volunteered to meet people because it's great fun to meet new people and to talk to them and find where they're from, their history, and why they're coming down to the railway. And I enjoy selling them the railway, the ideas why we're keeping it going, why have a heritage railway, and try and pass across some of my enjoyment to them as well. I also want to talk about Stogumber Station because I think it has a very specific role to play in the West Somerset Railway. So here we go. Stogumber Station, we have a station master who is very keen on bringing some of the elements of the station into the forefront. I mean, the cattle dock is the main one. We have planned for years, and at last he has got work on it, and it is looking fantastic. I think he and his gang of three, which is mainly Vic and Steve and Ian, have done a fantastic job on it. Really great job. I regret this year because obviously we were going to open it and so the public can see it, but unfortunately that is not going to happen. I don't think for some time. All work has stopped at the station. It is a country station. It only has one platform and a single line, and it is out in the country. There are very few dwellings round it. So in previous years they would have had to travel to the station, as some of the villagers do. They often do take the train to Bishop's Lily or Minehead, and they often do walk down. I've also got some pictures for you to see so that you can see really what we're trying to do at Stogumber Station and make it that little bit different, a little bit special. So the first picture is the early 1950s when I was born, and you'll see there's a camping coach. You'll see the cattle dock and the records office. You'll see the booking office, which in fact we have got. The goods shed has gone, and the platform, which you can't really see on this shot too clearly, most of it is wooden, and that was removed many years ago. So this is a 1950 shot. Much of this part of the station we can't bring back because quite clearly we've moved on. We now have a garden in place of the goods shed, and we have got a brick concrete platform which is much safer and will last a lot longer than the wooden one. So we can't do that. Also, that wasn't there in the 1950s is a signal box that was there certainly at turn of the 20th century. There was a signal box, and that was removed, I think, between the wars. So we clearly can't bring that back either. So, however, we are trying to make it, other than that, as near as we can to that sort of 1950s, 1960s era. The next picture, picture 2, shows you the station just before the West Somerset Railway got running. I think this is the mid-1970s. Again, I think it's a clearer picture here of the platform, which you can see that had to be removed. The waiting room has been replaced with a very similar looking waiting room, and the rest of it you can see is really left quite desolate. and I think it's important that we try and bring it back. We have in the booking office a picture of the station in the very early 1900s, and it really was a busy place, so we're trying to get it back so that people will come and visit and we have something to offer them. The third picture is this year, and it shows you the cattle dock, and it looks pretty much there, and there isn't a great deal to do now. Most of the groundwork has been done. We've still got a fair bit of brickwork to do. The ramp as well, which you can't really clearly see, is grass at the moment. We do not know for sure what was there, so we're going to leave it as grass and have a think about that one. But we have got the cattle dock pretty much back and working. We've got a rail there now, and we are thinking about asking for a wagon, which might give it a bit more of a feel of a working cattle dock. You can probably see the line side hut, which has now been exposed because we've had some of the trees removed, and the whole site is beginning to look a little bit busier, more like it was, say, 100 years ago. Picture 4 shows the garden. This is in the place of the goods shed. I think most people, if you say Stogumber Station, they say, "Oh yes, you've got a garden," and it is a very good place for us to see the trains, and that's why I think people come, because they can relax, see the trains, and they can enjoy tea, our coffee, ice cream, and of course our famous cream tea. So this is something we have spent a lot of time and money on to make sure that it is not only a pleasant place to sit in, but we have got the memorial stone, which is there, of course, with many names on it now. It's a place to sit and think, as well as a place to sit and watch. Picture 5 is one of my favourites, and it's taken by our good friend Robin White, who owns both cars. You can see there, that's a picture which could be from sort of the late 1950s. I think the sports car is probably early 1960s, but Robin will correct me on that one.
1958, Colin.
There you've got an engine, you've got two cars, they're all heritage, if not vintage. It's a very attractive photograph, and I think it's what we want to try and achieve here at Stogumber, is to have a sort of a 1950-ish feel about it, about going back in time. And this is my thoughts about the railway. Is, in a sense, it is a museum. It is taking us back, well, nearly 100 years really, and I think it's important because the steam engine, and in fact steam engines, took this country from agricultural country into industrialised country, and for over a century they took people and goods everywhere, and they helped with the manufacturing. I think we need to see this in action, and on the West Somerset Railway you can be taken back in time and you can see this in action. I think this is very, very important. Picture 6 is one to try and cheer people up, because this is from last year's Autumn Gala. I think it's nice because you can see lots of action, lots of people, and yes, there's an engine in the station, and that's really what we want to see. So that's the end of my little talk. I think the most important thing is for us is that yes, we do see the engines, we see the trains, we see the heritage stock. It's really nice, I think, to see it take you back. But also, I think what's also nice is that we meet people. I'm hoping that if you are there sitting at home like me, you'll be saying, I can't wait until the West Somerset Railway starts running. Please have a look at the website. Some of the pictures are from Robin White. The other pictures I took from Steve Edge's website, which is the unofficial wsr.org.uk website. So thank you to him for those. Please remember that the West Somerset Railway isn't operating, doesn't have an income. They do need your help. Please go to their website. And also, those of you that love Stogumber Station, please remember that we have a website as well, stogumberstation.com. Come and see us there, and there will be pictures there every week just to remind you of what we're all missing. So there's 4 more pictures, which pictures 7, 8, 9 and 10, which Robin has taken, and I think sum up the station very nicely. You've got the garden and the platform from both ends up and down the line, and you've got, which I think was an excellent photograph, and I thank you for listening. And this is Colin White, FOSS Treasurer, saying goodbye and see you soon.